What is going on, everybody? Larry back with you. I wanted to bring you guys a quick video on a very cool piece of gear that I use for making videos. It's an amazing product and the price on it is fantastic. So you already know from the title what we're talking about, so let's just jump right into it. So I don't have the monitor right in front of me because it's on my camera right now. The way that I use it is I have it attached to my Canon 5D Mark IV. And I have the HDMI out going from the Canon to the Andycine. Then from the Andycine, another output for HDMI to my front monitor that I have here, which is a small 19-inch monitor. But it's large enough to where I can see it a little bit easier than the Andycine, which is back there. So that part of it is just awesome, but it also gives me focus peaking, which my 5D Mark IV does not have. It also gives me audio levels that I can see. It gives me everything that I need to actually record video, especially as a one-man band. But I've also used it on shoots for work. Now I do videos for my 9-to-5 job as well. We build automated machines and robots, and I put like some cool videos together for like marketing and to share with customers and stuff like that. And using the Andycine, I can actually use my 5D Mark IV and do a lot of handheld, which I enjoy doing handheld shooting the most. And I can use that to make sure that I'm finding my focus and that things that I'm looking at are in focus instead of just depending on the back of the screen, because there's no focus peaking built into my 5D Mark IV. So I can actually use that to, whether I'm manually focusing or if I'm still doing autofocus, that I know what I want to be in focus is truly in focus. So another great thing about the Andycine monitor is that it's touchscreen. Now a lot of monitors, when you see inexpensive monitors, I've used some in the past, they all have push buttons along the bottom or a very complicated like switch or rolling switch or some way to control, you know, all the features and the menus and things like that. This one you can either have, you can have it both ways. You can have the touch screen, which is fantastic. I mean, it's really responsive for the price. Like, I can't get over what you get for this thing for the price. Or if you're not into that, you can turn off the touch screen and use the top little selector switch for that. Along the top, you have that selector switch, you have the power button. On the back, you actually have a plate for batteries, but you can use Sony NP batteries, which is what I have it on right now. Or if you slide the battery to the other side, like there's two different sides. One side is Sony NP and the other side is the standard Canon battery. So it's like, I have a ton of each of those. So if I want to go low profile and not have as much battery life, I can use the Canon. But for like this, I can use the Sony NP and have a big Sony NP on the back and actually have it last for, you know, 3 or 4 of these talking head type videos. So we've talked how cool this is and some of the features, but I wanted to get this out of the way now. This thing costs $230 right now. There's actually a 5%, I'm looking on Amazon, there's a 5% coupon if you just sort of click the little box. I'll leave a link for it down below so you guys can check it out for yourself, but I've used like Atomos and recorders. But I've also used monitors that are 5 times as expensive as this. You know, the build quality on this isn't fantastic. It's a lot of plastic. You can tell it's made at a very cheap, in a cheap way. But $230 for the features that you're getting, especially the touchscreen, is just amazing. And then, like I said, I like the output HDMI, so I can actually have a secondary monitor. Now, if you're doing something a little bit more elaborate than a YouTube video like this, I could have this monitor off to the side, or even farther away with a wireless system or a long HDMI cable, and actually let somebody off of the set or off scene actually watch as we're recording and doing things. I can't say enough about how much I use this and how happy I have been with it, especially for the price. So we talked about on the top, there's the power button, there's the selector switch, I sort of jumped around. There's also on the side, there's HDMI in, HDMI out, and then there's also a DC out. So if you can actually power your camera with this. It has an SD card slot at the bottom so you can load LUTs and things like that. You have DC in 12 volt at the bottom, so if you don't want to use the battery, you can actually plug this into the wall, which is fantastic as well. You actually have a headphone jack so you can monitor your audio through this. And then, like I said, along the back you have the dual battery thing. It's one one slot, but accepts 2 different kinds of batteries. So, and the size of it, it's a 5.5 inch, and the resolution is 1920 by 1080, but it'll accept a 4K, obviously, image. But some of the, when we talk about filmmaking or video or content, some of the things that you want in a monitor or a camera, my camera doesn't have video-centric things, so an external monitor like this brings those things into play. So what we have here is you have I'm gonna read off. You have histogram, you have peaking, you have false color, exposure, you have LUTs you can add. Like I said, there's audio. You can pixel peak on it. You can zoom into certain areas, make sure things are focused, and then come back out. You have image flip, so if you want to flip the monitor around, you can put it in anamorphic mode. You can freeze an image, zoom it. Like I said, all those things on this $229 monitor is just out of the park. Crazy great value. I think if you're a content creator, and especially if you're on a budget, but even if you're not, there's no reason to spend so much money just so you can be on the same level as, you know, this creator, that creator, whatever. I think if you get the tools and they do the job well, it doesn't matter if it was $200 or $500 or $1,000, whatever. If it's the tool and it works, that's great. Personally, I'm always a little budget conscious, so I'm always looking for the best product at the lowest price. And this, for a 5-inch monitor, checks all the boxes. So in the box, you don't just get the monitor. That's the other thing that's amazing. You get, which is like a hard case, or a semi-hard, soft case. You get a battery. You get a battery charger. You get a micro HDMI cable, which I don't use for my camera. You get a sun hood, and then of course a user's manual. And then you get a tilt arm. Now, if you've seen this type of tilt arm, a lot of external monitors use this type. It's the type that goes into your hot shoe or your cold shoe, then comes up around to the side of the monitor so you can rotate it back and forth. So, like I said, I mean, you get so much in the package with the monitor, not just the monitor, and then the monitor itself packs so many features. To me, it's a no-brainer. Anybody with, you know, looking for this type of price, I think this is right up your alley. That's going to be it for this. If you have any questions about it, leave it down in the comment section below. I'll hit you up. Check me out on Instagram and Twitter. I'm always putting like behind the scenes stuff. I'm getting ready to do a sort of tour of the space that I record in. This is my basement, but I'm going to sort of show you around and sort of how I do my lighting and stuff like that. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you subscribe, hit that little bell so you don't miss any uploads. And that's going to be it for now. Like I said, links for this will be down in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.